Hey everybody, good morning, good evening, good night, whatever it is where you're watching this. Sorry it's been so long since I've done a video, but been really busy in IRL. Somebody says, what is IRL? In real life. But been busy with work, but every weekend I'm flying. Sorry I haven't recorded anything, but I've got a lot of hours. I'm almost up to 300 flight hours in the sim now. So, yeah, been flying the Pilitas 24. Admittedly, disclaimer, guys, I'm not a pilot. I've been flying sims since the early 80s, but I am in no way a real pilot, so don't take anything I say verbatim, but for the sim, it works for me. I do it a little differently. I don't do instrument flights, mainly because when I'm doing flights, I set it on, I do the standard VFR, let it fly, get it up to 40,000 feet, let it sit, have the autopilot set up, so I check and see down in the little flight computer how much longer I got, and basically I come back when I've got 20 minutes. I just let it fly itself. I will tell you one thing, I guarantee being a pilot can be boring, because this does get boring after a while, but of course they're always doing instruments, so they're always checking in on the radio and all that good stuff. So what are we doing now? Well, what we're doing is we're doing a flight from Fort Brigadier to Indi Motorsports Ranch in Arizona. Got stuff in the back, don't know what it is, don't care what it is. Alright, let's bring the speed up a little bit. So I am going to do a video a little bit later on start and finish, so if you get to watch this video, we'll check out the next one, because the next one will be a full flight. I will tell you on the full flights, when you're watching them, feel free to fast forward. If you're watching my video, I get it up to 40,000 feet, and I usually will tell you, hey, I'm going to walk away. Fast forward until we're about 130 or 140 miles away from where we're going, because right at about 120 is where I'll usually pick it back up. That's when I start configuring for descent. I usually start my descent at about 80 miles out, and I just let the flight director take it down to where I need to go. Now I'm a little nervous about this. I'm gonna pop the altitude hold. I'm a little nervous about that little mountain there. So we'll just get a little bit further downrange, and then I'll start the flight director running again. I'm going to bring the speed down to about 240. Basically, they don't like you flying over 250 under 10,000. Right now I got the altimeter set to 11,000, but I'll be stepping that down real fast. The airport I'm going to is at 4,400, so I need to be pattern altitude probably around 6,000. So I'm clear of that bridge right there, so I'm going to put it back in there. And I'm actually close enough that I'm going to pull this down to, we're going to do about 7,000. I do need to watch that ridge and make sure I clear it though. Looking good. So how is everybody? Leave some comments. If you like the video, subscribe if this is your first time. If you like my videos, tell your friends. I need all the friends I can get. So everybody knows I'm in the Dallas area. We've been dealing with actually a pretty mild summer. It's not been bad at all. But we've had, what, 2 days over 100? That's not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead.
Okay, and that's just keying on that. We'll go ahead and level out just a little bit. Let's see what it looks like outside. I do need to watch that ridge right in front of me. Tell you what, let's do this. Let's pause for a second. Now, when I do a flight, I always come in and I search for the airport. And if it's in the U.S., I try to find the air nav site for it. So in this case, we're going into 93 AZ, which is Indi Motorsports Ranch. And when you click on it, it brings up this. And this gives you a lot of good information. Guys, if you're going to fly at night, this is very important. You've got to check and see if they have lights. The sim will let you take off when it's going to be dark, where you're going. And if they don't have lights, you got to wing it or pause the game until the next morning, and then you can land. So in here, you've got the elevation, which the sim already tells you what the elevation is. But this right here is what's important, the runway. This runway is 3,800 feet and it's 60 feet wide. If I can't land on that runway, I need to give it up. So let's look, because I'm going north to south. Let's go to the sectional chart. And I'm pretty sure that's the ridge I just passed, which was at 8,800 feet. Now I need to check this ridge, and it looks like it's going to be tops maybe 7,000. That's still 1,500 over where I'm going. But if you look right here, that's saying 5,600. So we should be okay. I'm going to come in about 7,000 and then drop that last 1,000 in the pattern. But I should be good. All right, let's get back at it.
Feet.
Now what I'm going to do, if you will look over here, you can see where the brackets are for the sim telling you where to fly. And as you can see, I'm a little off to the right of it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to switch from nav to heading, and you left click it to zero it, and then I'm just going to go ahead and bring this over so that I follow that red line. The red line will come in real handy in this case for sure, because I'm basically flying straight into the runway. So I'll come in, I'll make a left turn, and then get into the pattern and make a left turn, base, final, and come right in. And I can use the red line here, or I could just use the brackets up top to line up with. I'm getting close, so I can kind of turn it over. Now if you're looking up in the upper left hand corner, you'll see as I turn my heading indicator, this little blue moves. Now you can line it up on the line and the computer thinks you're straight, but you're dealing with crosswinds. And down here it'll tell you you've got a 2 mile an hour or 2 knot tailwind and a 6 knot crosswind. So it's going to try to push you off course. While you're doing it this way, you always have to be correcting if you want to stay in line. Okay, so right now we're at 7,000 feet. We're 18 miles out. It's time to slow down a little bit. So we're going to bring this down to 190. And again, I will eventually turn the altitude down to 6,000, which will be where I want to be when I enter the pattern. It's kind of funny, after flying all these, I had flown into this airport before. Back when I first started in the career mode, I was flying a Cessna 172 and came in here, I think, a couple times. And what this place is it's a Indy road course, or Indy racing road course. And they've got part of the race course is actually the runway for the airport that's there. So what am I running on my computer? I think I've told y'all before, I got a new CLX. I'm running a 3060 graphics card, which for me does fine. I could get a higher graphics card and get better graphics, but I mean, look at these graphics that I get now. They're pretty good for a budget computer. I spent about $1,300 on it, and considering I used to use an old generic laptop and thought that was cool, but boy, going to this graphics card, it's completely different. It's amazing. As I said, I've flown sims since the early 80s, and I always wanted one that was this realistic. I also got a 39-inch curved monitor. Perks of the job. Okay, I need to okay, I gotta pause it for a second. My key binding's gone. Quick reply. This is not good. Ah, shit. Okay, so what's happened is the binding on the key has, I've lost the binding on the key. So for now, I'm just gonna have to go back to doing it the old-fashioned way. No, I'm gonna have to pause it. Alright, let's bring out the old Google. So, I'm going to do 2024.
Skip the drama. Ask your...
Gotta be in the settings somewhere. Ah, damn it. There it is. There it is. There we go. Whew. There it is. Okay, so let's talk about what just happened. It has an auto reply feature, which you hit the enter on your keypad over on the far right. And for whatever reason, that key binding, it lost the key binding. The key binding is where you tell the sim, hey, when I push this button, do this. The thing about Microsoft Flight Simulator is there's a lot of keys you got to manually bind. I found that the spoiler is not bound, and I had to go in and find the spoilers and bind the Alt-M to activate and the Alt-N to deactivate them. So that's one of the first things I got figured out. But yeah, so now we can go back to finish this up.
Niner Tree Alpha Zulu traffic. Pilitas November Tree 5065. 9 miles north, 7,000 feet. Inbound to land, runway 8. Niner Tree Alpha Zulu traffic.
And speaking about the auto spoilers I was talking about, I'm going to be activating those soon. When you get within 500 feet, you can arm the auto spoilers so that when you do get down,
Terrain ahead. Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
so when you activate it, it will actually activate the brakes as soon as you get down, or the air spoilers, and help slow you down. Bigger runways not necessarily as important, but on the short runways, 2000s, you do.
Pull up. Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Now, this is going to be annoying, but there's not a lot we can do about it at this point. It is going to give us these terrain ahead crap. We just got to deal with that because of the mountains. And I think I may have to alter my landing coming in there because I'm going to be close to that bridge. But we'll get there when we get there. Alright, so let's go ahead and come off of the autopilot. Let's pop in some flaps. Go ahead and put the gears down. I want to run the speed. Now I usually pull the auto throttle, and I put it at 65 so that I can see it on my panel there. And I like to fly it around 165 knots. Now you notice the brackets disappeared, but they're going to come back. There they are. So let's add some speed. I got 20 degrees of trim. I'm going to take that up to 23. I've been having really good luck at about 23, 24. We're a little higher than normal, so I'm actually going to go 24 and see how that goes. Now one thing you'll notice up here is it tells you to make that left turn into the brackets, but if you're watching on the iPad, you'll notice that it actually goes out further so that you don't have to turn as sharp. Part of the credit you get is if you took care of what was in the plane, and I'm finding it when I do the real short turns, because I have to turn so sharp, something's causing my how I respect the stuff in airplanes, the rating to go down. So I'm still working on that. Alright, so we're at 8 degrees of flaps. The gear are down. Again, I want to speed it up. I'm going to stay right about 6,000. I'm going to be landing at 4,400. So I'm still quite a bit. I'm still about 1,600 above. I'm going to start my gradual turn here. Watching my speed. As you go into a turn, you're going to slow down, so you've got to get that speed up or it will stall. Coming around nicely. And the first bracket you see, you can just level out and catch it. That was very smooth. Now you'll notice over on the iPad, the pink line, that's where the computer thinks you should be. One thing that I am doing is when I get to base, which is my next to last left turn, it says turn and then turn at final, and I'm actually going further out because I'm finding that it's just I get way too busy if I get too far out or too close and try to turn into final. And I really got to watch this ridge here because the brackets will fly you through a mountain if you don't keep your eyes open. So I definitely need to pick up some speed here. Now we're going to get that terrain ahead. That's to be expected. I'm actually going to turn early. Yep. Because if I go with the bracket, I'm going to slam into that ridge right there. We'll just cut it a little short, turn it, and then I'll turn back in when I get past that ridge. Yeah, I would not have made it if I'd have slammed that ridge. I'd have been great balls of fire. Now I can kind of turn in and get back in the pattern. So I'm going to fly out back over that way just a little bit. Don't forget to watch your speed. Add another notch of flaps. So you see I'm going out past. And if it wasn't mountains, in my next video, hopefully it'll be a little clearer. Make it a little bit to the right here. And then spin it around. Watch your speed. I just find if I turn on the base in the final, like the pink line, you just got so much to do in those last few minutes that you know, you come in too fast or whatever. This way I'm way out. I probably overshot it a little bit, but I got plenty of room to clean that up. Now I need to get down, and I need to get down fast.
Sync rates. Sync rates.
I'm going to go ahead and add that third notch of flaps. I'm going to go ahead and add some brakes real quick. You'll notice in the center low it says speed brakes extended. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn them off. And here in a minute I'm going to give my final. That's hitting the quick reply. Right there. Then I'm, oh, nope.
500.
Now you notice the speed brakes when I activated them came on.
Pilitas November tree 5065.
And that was because I was above 500 feet.
Runway 8 to land. Niner tree Alpha.
Watch the
Zulu
speed.
traffic.
100.
Nicely done. Alright, let's take those speed brakes off. Let's get rid of the flaps. And we'll pull up to this hold short. Alright.
Niner Tree Alpha, Zulu traffic. Pilitas November Tree 5065 is taxiing to parking. Niner Tree Alpha, Zulu traffic.
Okay, we'll go ahead and take the rest of the trim out of it. So in my next video, one thing I'm going to kind of talk to everybody about, the big thing about everything flying is fuel management. And you got to make sure when you first take off that you've got enough fuel to get where you're going. That makes sense. You also have to know that the higher you go, the less fuel you're going to use. I've flown so much in this jet that I pretty much know at 40,000 feet how much I need to go. A normal mission is going to be about 550 miles and 1,700 pounds. So I know that 3,200 pounds of fuel is plenty. Usually 3,000 pounds of fuel will get you where you need to go. And I'll explain that in the next video. I'll go over all that. When you're taxiing, keep it down. Now, one thing I will tell you about this gang, you gotta be careful because you see those brackets going up to that building. If you stay on those brackets, you're gonna hit that building. And I'll show you when I get closer. Guys, the sim's not perfect. I've never played a sim that didn't have flaws or little tweaks. But the nice thing about this jet is fully, you know, it'll fly in dirt, gravel, takeoff, landing, short takeoff. It's cool. It did take me a while to learn the flight computer, though. I will tell you that. So I ended up with 700 pounds of fuel extra. I used 2,400 pounds, pretty much average. We'll go over all this in the next video as to, you know, where you're going. Again, I know there's ways to automate a lot of the flying that I do, but, you know, I figured out how to do it and it works for me. So, all right, so now we're going to do a Control-Shift-E to shut it down. It takes a little while for this to fully spin down and totally shut off. Now I gotta turn that music down. I'll have to go back and look and see how this video worked. Alright, let's see what we got here. Yeah, well, not bad. I have not figured out why the cargo integrity, what causes it to go down like that. But this is a pretty damn good fight, you know, not bad at all. Still trying to figure out all this, but hey, I'm in Superior, which will get me 15% pay bonuses. Nice. $20. So I need to have a good day today. So guys, here's the end of it. Let me see if I can turn that music down. There we go. That's much better. I bet you guys will like that. I'll work on the engine noises when I'm flying later. But again, guys, thanks for watching the channel. Sorry it's been a while. I'm going to try to get more going. The next video I'm going to put out will actually be a start to finish. I'm going to pick up a mission and we'll go from there. So as always, guys, thanks for watching. If you like it, like it. If you have comments, comment. And until the next one, have a great day, great weekend. Enjoy life.